Yeah, so we're still going through a turn here. And you can see that there is some tire flex here. Deformation. Yeah, okay, well, apparently that's pretty much like the best we can do. Let's try to take the brightness down, bring up the exposure, or I don't know. Yeah, alright, that works. Oof, that looks pretty strange. I'm gonna assume some of that is really the bloom and not the way that this actually looks. Yeah, okay. Okay. Now I want you to see if you notice anything bizarre. Anything at all. You might notice these surfaces are actually raised. This is not parallax occlusion mapping. You see something kind of strange. And if we look straight down, you see that curb. And that curb actually casts a shadow on top of the car. And it does that again right there. And again, right there, and it just keeps doing that. Of course, some of the car, I guess, shaders and stuff are really dark, so you can't really tell what's going on. Like, even this is pretty dark, but then this is kind of pretty much pitch black. I'm not sure I can bring up the color. Yeah, look at that. Bring up the exposure to the max. And that's as bright as we're getting. Of course, when you bring up the brightness, then everything kind of gets... I mean, that's just how ridiculous the contrast is in this game. The wheels, the tires, they're not as dark as the A-frame on this car. And whatever you want to call that is, like, front portion right in front of the sunroof there. That's nuts. That's how they got it set. This, some people thought that was realistic. Realistic lighting there, guys. Also, you'll see that weird reflection there. This cube map is kind of bugging out on us. Yeah, that's one of those things I just wanted to show off. It's just the lighting scheme in this game. It's pretty messed up. We can actually skip forward to another portion where that happens on this track. But it happens everywhere in this game, ultimately. Like, even right here. And we got the sun. Like, this is the shadow, right? And that makes some sense, because the sun is like right there. Somewhere. Right? Okay, I guess maybe that's the sun. I don't know. But if we're here, then we're kind of in shade, right? So, I mean, the sun is over there somewhere, and yet it just is straight down. Straight down. And then, of course, straight up right here, this goes vertical. Very strange. Not exactly how light works. Yeah, you can see how it doesn't respect the orientation of the shadows at all. It's just not at all there in this lighting system. It's been like this since Forza 1, actually, but nobody's really paid attention. And this did succeed this game. It ended up in Forza Motorsport 5, Forza Motorsport 6, and Forza Motorsport 6 Apex, which I have on my computer. Forza Motorsport 7 on PC, at least the demo. For sure, I've seen some gameplay which suggests it did make it into the final release as well. So, with Forza, Motorsport 8 or Forza 2023 coming with the ray tracing and everything, I would hope they fix that this time for good. Because I can't think of a single game that handles shadows this way. But we'll show you another example coming right up. This is just clearly not right. Clearly. You see the shape of the shadow here that's being cast on top of the car while I'm driving over the object. Let's play that out in full speed. I'm going to turn a filter on and off. I want you guys to pay attention to any changes whatsoever. Filter is being toggled actively. Now I'm turning all of the filters off. All of the filters are coming back on. And again, we're toggling back and forth. Okay, let's look at something else with high frequency detail. See any changes, any weird flickering or anything? Anything even when I'm moving a little bit? No? Yeah. Alright, so this game renders at a resolution of 900.9 by 1069. Yeah. Everybody talks about how Gran Turismo had really terrible visuals. But then you look at this game, but when we go further away, it unloads that detail. And the road sign is too far away to, read it anyway. But, yeah. As you can see, there's just no way you're going to notice that. But with the angles that they choose in the replay, it becomes really obvious. But we see other things come in and go in as we move further and closer to objects. Why did that sign come back? What is the deal with that? Just very strange optimization there. It goes away, and then other stuff comes back, and then that sign and other objects are just shown again. It's very bizarre. All the 2D people, the 2D trees and everything. But that's not the weird thing. The weird thing is the 2D background that's supposed to represent the track way far off in the distance. So actually get a little bit closer. Oh, well, let's see. I'm probably not close enough, actually. Yeah, that's actually a two-dimensional object. It's just a texture. It'd be interesting if I could see the cars driving through it. Wait, is that a car that drove through it? Stop. And we're going to look at a different vehicle. What? Yeah. It looks like a car did drive through the thingy. My brain actually hurts. What is this? This is really baffling. This is how they rendered this game. But it's also right there. You see it cuts off. Why? Could they really not render anything further away than that? I mean, for photo mode, when you do any sort of crazy zoom, I mean even just 2x zoom, you know, starts showing some weird things. Never mind 10 times zoom. 10 times zoom, and that is pretty obvious. You even see stuff behind it. It's very clear that that's just a little billboard. We also have... See, it doesn't look like... Well, okay, stuff is really being taken away as well. We go backward. And that anisotropic filtering is really weak. It's like everything that people complained about in Drive Club and in Gran Turismo existed in this game. I mean, look, these are not detailed at all. And then you look off into the distance and you see this weird pattern that just draws out. It's crawling across the ground. It just doesn't look right. I mean, there is some really cool stuff about this game. Like, I do like this replay mode. The fact that you can zoom in and go backward and forward and all that stuff and see all the weird stuff that happens. Like, maybe that.
And I guess that's
weird.
control.
What?